So, y'all, I'm here to review episode 143 of season 2 for y'all. So, it was just a continuation of Eva and her scar situation. Okay, so we are now trying to figure out what exactly is going on. Isaiah has now, come in and has talked to Eva. He got into a little argument. Isaiah left. He went to the police department to go talk to Jacob. Jacob wasn't there. So instead, he talked to his mom. His mom gave him some words of wisdom. And then he went back to the apartment. And then him and Eva were able to square everything away. We also saw that Ted had a conversation with Eva prior. Just because of everything that happened with Leslie. Ted wasn't really happy with the outcome of the conversation with Leslie. So he took it upon himself to talk to Eva himself just to see, where Eva's head and everything was at. And he basically told her that, he really feels like she needs to get emotional help. Isaiah did mention that during their conversation as well. And she didn't really like that. But I too think that, there was something deeper going on. And I did think that she maybe needed to talk to someone, even if she didn't want to necessarily go get therapy. Isaiah was trying to at least be the person that, she was talking to. But Bill told her that now is not the wisest time to, consider anything with the surgery. The scar may fade over time. And, just be patient because, if they was to try to do anything cosmetic now, it could interfere with her healing process. Considering the fact that she did have to have emergency surgery to stop whatever was going on the first time. And then she had to have another surgery again for the actual donation. I said it once, I'll say it probably 300 times more until we actually get there, but I cannot wait until Haley gets busted because Haley is raggedy. We saw her have a conversation with Randy at Uptown, and eventually, when she does leave, Randy does end up having a conversation with Danny, which Danny tries to, seem like she busted him and that she knows that, they're having an entanglement, which we all know that they're not. But they are on the right tracks to figuring out exactly how Haley and Randy are related. But nonetheless, Haley told Randy she was going to try her best to get Bill to St. Bart's. Fast forward, Bill ends up coming home because, it's the anniversary of the miscarriage. And so he went home to spend time with Haley. Haley ends up telling him that, she's stressed out. She don't want to be there no more. The family got too much going on. They're accusing her of X, Y, and Z. It's pissing her off, and she's ready to go. She wants to go to St. Bart's. Well, she tells Bill whether or not he goes to St. Bart's, she don't care because she's going without him because she needs the break. So then, right when she's about to go upstairs and pack a bag because she wants to leave that day, she wants to leave that day, Bill gives in and was like, fine, I will go with you to St. Bart's. Let me go and get a few, briefs off my desk to take it with me. At least if I'm going to go to St. Bart's and be gone for a week, I could, work on some cases. So Bill goes to the office. This is after Haley has already called Caroline to clear his schedule, unbeknownst to Bill. After Bill done fussed Caroline and told her that he won't familiar and stay out his business, he go in there. She tells him that she cleared her schedule. Haley already called her and let her know everything. So while he's packing his briefcase, he leaves out. Bill passes out. Bill is unconscious. Caroline, the person who he won't familiar with, and he said that don't get in his business, come to find out is listed as his emergency contact. And so she calls the EMS, which, Darlene works as a operator. She told her how to do CPR in order to, help Bill still have that oxygen flow going so that, there won't be any kind of damage. Now, once Bill gets to the hospital, that's when Shanice and Ashley realize who it is. Ashley is trying to call Naomi. Darlene tells Jacob. Jacob calls Naomi. Naomi, Chelsea, and Danny are at the clubhouse. While they're talking, Danny tells Naomi that Jacob's calling. She answered the phone. Jacob tells her what's going on, and then they all go and rush to the hospital. Anita's ends up at the hospital. Vernon ends up at the hospital. Chelsea, Kat, Danny, Jacob. It's a whole lot going on. to me, the now most interesting part of the episode occurs because now Haley and Danny are both in the same vicinity. They are not getting together. They are not getting along. But it's a while before, Haley even gets there. Why? Because Haley is at the airport waiting on Bill because she told Bill, I will meet you at the airport. So now Bill is at the hospital unbeknownst to her. And so now she has to get the driver to get her to the hospital. Once she gets to the hospital, there is a big argument. Words are exchanged. A scene is made. And Shanice lets them know right then, if y'all do not cut this out right now, I'm not playing with neither one of y'all. I will have security escort y'all out of here. She then tells Vernon and Anita, I will have security go to Nicole's office. You can wait with Danny there because she is de-escalating the situation. And look, Miss Shanice said she the charge nurse. She don't play that. So get out of here. Next thing you know, they saying, what's going on, Bill? What's going on with Bill? They can't tell him. They can't tell the family nothing because they don't know what's going on. Chelsea is steady calling Madison because Madison has left the country to go to Denmark. And I was like, and at the most inopportune time, Madison is gone. Madison ain't never at the hospital when stuff be going down. She ain't never around when stuff be going down. And I'm going to need for y'all to stop making Madison being missing when stuff is going down. Now, I'm just wondering what exactly is going through Haley's head. Because if something like medically serious is going on with Bill, they going to do every test, run everything, X-ray, CAT scan, EKG, anything to him to see what exactly is going on. And I'm thinking, is Haley panicking? Because if not, she should be. Because at this point, we now know, well, we already knew, but we, the audience, already knew. Everybody else knows that something shiesty is going on with Haley. And then it's just like the fact that, okay, so you tried to ruin his plans because she knew that this was going to happen. So she tried her best to hurry up and get him out of the country because y'all know, if you go back to earlier episodes, she had that conversation with Randy at that table about getting Bill over to St. Bart's and saying that Bill's heart stopped and that she was going to call the man who they got on call for cremation, cremate Bill, and then get the $10 million policy and split it with her and Randy. And then just tell the family it was too much for her with whatever happened with Bill and never come back. Girl, I don't know what in your right, girl, that won't gonna work. That was not gonna work, Haley. That was the dumbest plan ever, and you was gonna be capital BUSTED, busted, girl. You was gonna be busted because it was no way Danny, Naomi, or Chelsea was gonna let that fly. They wasn't. That lady really thought she was about to slide with that 10 M's. She really did. And I'm just like, girl, you would have never lived that down. Because Danny would have got to the bottom of that. And it's just, the crazy part is Danny doing all of this for Bill. And Bill does not deserve any of this. Outside of Haley and Randy plotting and scheming, Bill still was very nasty and dirty to Danny at the end of the day. And Bill does not deserve that fierce loyalty that Danny is giving him. And I just hate it for Andre, because he don't deserve that either. Because all the love, she's holding a part of herself back from Andre, all because she can't get over Bill. And one last thing, Heather ended up showing up and having drinks with Vanessa, and come to find out she's conning. She didn't drink a thing, but Vanessa got very impaired. And Joey is on to Heather's tracks because he knows something is going on. He just can't prove it. And he been trying to follow her whereabouts all day. And like I said yesterday, I think that Heather and Andre might have had something going on, because why has Heather all of a sudden returned to the DMV? That's because I think she knows Andre is there. But we got to see if that guess is actually true. But nonetheless, Heather is to not be trusted, and she gonna end up getting Joey in trouble, busted, caught up, or more, because she got some kind of ulterior plan going on. But we gonna see what's going on. Stay tuned next for my episode 144 review.